In this example, I'm going to show you how to use the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation. So here's an example here, 2x squared plus 7x equals -1. So when you're using the quadratic formula, you can't always just jump into the problem with the formula. The first thing that you absolutely must do is collect all of the non-zero terms on the same side of the equation. So in this example, I will add 1 to both sides, giving me 2x squared plus 7x plus 1 equals 0. This is an extremely important first step that cannot be skipped. Once you've done this, then we can use the quadratic formula. So I will write that above. The quadratic formula says that your variable is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I've definitely memorized it at this point. And this is only in the case where x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So notice what you have to do first thing is you have to write your quadratic equation in general form equals 0. And then that way you can identify a, b, and c correctly to plug into this formula. So now we will identify the a, b, and c values. So a, b, and c are all just coefficients. Please remember a, b, and c do not include the variable ever, ever, ever. A, b, and c are just the coefficients and the constant term. So in this case, a is 2, b is 7, and c is 1, and they're all positive. Okay, so then I can use the quadratic formula by substituting those values in and simplifying that number down as much as I can. So the negative of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. Make sure your radical covers everything it's supposed to. Divided by, now notice all of this is the numerator, not just this part, but the whole thing, divided by 2 times the a value. And what is this equal to? It's really important that you identify that this is equal to the variable, because that's what we're trying to find. What is x equal to? Okay, so now we will simplify this a little bit. 7 squared is 49. 4 times 2 is 8 times 1 is 8. All over 2 times 2, which is 4. 49 minus 8 is 41. And that right there would be a perfectly fine answer. If this is a square root of a common value like 100 or 49 or 16, then you would want to evaluate that and simplify this answer even further.